Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Also check out our Instagram at Carryandcut and our Patreon at Carryandcut. All the proceeds from the Patreon go directly back to the channel to buy new knives, new equipment to make the quality and the content better for you guys. So today, we got the tools out again. That means we're going to be doing a disassembly and maintenance video on this QSB parrot. And if you guys missed the full review of this one, make sure you go back and check it out. This is another one of Jimmie Crowe's knives, and I really do appreciate you sending that over for us, Jimmy. So thank you very much. So we got the QSB Parrot. This is a definitely a pretty simple liner lock knife, at least I hope so. So let's go ahead and get this thing taken apart. We're going to start over here at the pocket clip, get this thing taken off. We're going to be looking at T6 on the pocket clip and body screws and T8 on the pivot. So let's go ahead and start right here. Always be careful with your T6s. Make sure you're not stripping them out or anything like that. Minimal effort like that. We are the exact same length on all of the pocket clip screws. That's nice to see. We'll go ahead and set that one over there. We do have a captive pivot on this one too, so that's always nice to see. Go ahead and run the pivot out of there first. Let's go ahead and get the body screws out of this side right here. I always like to keep my one side of the knife different from the other side, especially when we're looking at our screws. You definitely don't want to mix any of them up because some of them might be different lengths than the other ones, so we'll just have to get this thing taken apart and see what we're actually working with here. And it looks to appear to me that we're definitely different lengths. Maybe not. Nope, those are the exact same length, so nothing too crazy going on there. Love to see that. So this is definitely a mic-carded material. I was wondering about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop our actual locking liner lock part of the knife off right here. Doesn't want to come off there. Get our little handy dandy pry tool out if we can. Our blades want to come out on us. There we go. Alright. I was thinking we had ball bearings in the pivot, but we actually do not have ball bearings. On the listing on the Amazon, it said we had ball bearings, but we do not. We have a nylon, and then we have a phosphor bronze. So we're going on like a stack like that. We got the phosphor bronze on the outside, nylon on the inside towards the knife. So we'll go ahead and set those over there just like so. Go ahead and pop our pivot out. And it's going to be the same exact combo going on over there. So whoever is watching the full review of this thing, I am very sorry about that. It even looked like it, and on the Amazon description, it said that it had ball bearings in the pivot. So maybe that was for the Parrot V2. I did see that there was actually a second version of this thing, so maybe that was the case. So anybody watching that, wondering why I lied to you, definitely sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get some alcohol going, clean this thing up. Any residual oils or shipping material or anything like that, which I'm sure Jimmy's had this knife for a while, but we'll still get it nice and cleaned up for him. So anything that the blade is going to be coming in contact with, another piece of metal, we're going to go ahead and get this nice and polished up, washed up. We do have a stop pin right there also. We're just going to go ahead and leave that one alone. I don't like putting alcohol on the actual pit on the scale itself. I know he does dye jobs on it, so I don't want to take any sort of color out of there. We're just going to go ahead and leave this side intact, leave it together. There's really nothing behind that, and with how clean this side was, I'm not going to worry about it. But you would just follow the same exact steps as we used before to get that cleaned up. Let's go ahead and get our phosphor bronze and our nylon. Go ahead and wipe this down like so. Same over here. And we are looking at different sizes. This side was the one with the pivot. So I do remember that. So it's just good to be paying attention on what you're doing when you're taking these knives apart, just so you know which goes where. So we had phosphor bronze down first. Then we had our nylon. Make sure to be careful and do not bend these nylon washers. Definitely don't want to get a good crinkle in there. We could probably go ahead and put a little bit of KPL on here. This is knife pivot lube. If you guys are interested, I will have this link down in the description below. Completely up to you. It does help my channel when you do use those links. Go ahead and throw our stop pin right there. I don't know if it matters, but this side went over here. Probably doesn't matter at all, but alright, we'll go ahead and throw our blade down. And like I said before, we're going to put a little bit of KPL on there. Just a touch. Go on with our phosphor or nylon. Nylon went first. Phosphor bronze followed after that. Go ahead and just throw another little dab on there. I'm not really sure why they do the whole different, especially different sizes. That kind of blew me away right there too. So we do have our captive pivot, which it looks like we are going to be lined up, whoa, just right for that. I'm going to get our stop pin back in place. Maybe. Probably should have left it on the other side, but there we go. Once we get this side on there, make all the difference. Be a little difficult to get our pivot started here when we can't really it's not, you got a D-shaped pivot on this side, but it doesn't really go all the way through. It might have been better to start from the other side, but we will see. There, we got it locked right in. Now if we can get our back spacers to lock in there too, which seems to be a little easier said than done. There it went. Sometimes you just gotta push it right in there. Alright, so now you can see how much lockup we got. A whole crap ton going on there. What is going on there? Don't know what the problem is right there. Why is there so much? There we go. Now we got it. We just had to kind of finagle it around. I guess it doesn't come in. No, that's how it came apart though. See, I'm not really sure what's going on right there with that washer. Maybe it was supposed to go to the other side. It doesn't interfere with anything though. Definitely a little bit strange. That's definitely how it came apart though. I took it apart and put it together just the way it came apart, so must be right. So let's go ahead and throw on our rest of our knife here. Throw the other scale back on. Get our T6, get a little bit of Loctite on there. Darn it. Fat fingered it. We're not going for a crazy tighten right now. We're just going to go for an initial tighten down. We'll go ahead and torque it, if you will, if you want to call it that, once we do our final assembly and final tighten down. Go ahead and throw that one in there. Like so. Alright, now we can work on our pivot. Get our T8 back out. A little bit of Loctite on here. I'd say the pivot's probably the most important one to get Loctite on, because you want to, you know, get your action where you like it, and the next day or so this thing will tighten up, or the Loctite will set, I guess you could say. So we're definitely a little bit favoring one side, that's for sure. Let's see if we can go ahead and stick something in here and try to wiggle this thing back onto the other side. When I was messing with the QSP Penguin too, I had the same issue. It seemed like that blade just wanted to walk over like crazy. And I'm not sure why they do that. A lot of, some knives come together so effortlessly, and they don't even, they just have a perfect centering right off the rip. But other ones aren't like that, so I'm not sure what is going on with that. There, it's getting better. Let's go ahead and we'll loosen that pivot back up, tighten it all the way down. If you kind of shove something in there, then you at least the direction you want it to go. Sometimes that does the trick. We're going to loosen him up, and we'll tighten him back down. We'll do the same thing back here with our backspacer too. Backspacer or standoff. Sometimes that kind of has something to do with it also. Alright, so there we go. Now we're looking pretty center, right down the middle where we like it. Come on, focus for me. There we go. Action, just as good as it was before, if not better. Alright, let's go and get this thing set up for tip up right hand carry, just like so. That's how Jimmy likes his knives, and I do also. That's how I prefer mine. Alright, go ahead and throw our screws in right there. T6. Alright. I always like to put our Locktite on the pocket clip screws also, because there's nothing worse than losing a pocket clip screw out of your knife. Out of your clip. Alright, so that is how you disassemble and maintain your QSP Parrot. Make sure you guys go check out the full review of this knife that we posted earlier. And until next time, thanks guys.